Now we have come to the end of the chapter where we would be dealing with the two major phylums, the angiosperm and the gymnosperm. Okay, now two different classes. So in the kingdom Plantae, these are the two phylums, the angiosperm and gymnosperm. And here in front of you, you can see that the basic difference between, and these are the two maximum evolved organisms. They belong to this phylum. Now angiosperm generally belong to the modern plant, what you see, and gymnosperm, as I had told you in my earlier classes, they have only two categories, the cycas and the spinous. So and they are supposed to be the most evolved. Highest evolutionary evidences are found in gymnosperm and angiosperm in compared to the algae, the bryophytes, the pteridophytes. Okay, so they are considered inferior to these two phylum. Okay, in case of on the basis of evolutionary criteria, phylogenetically. Okay, now here you see the gross difference between them is the gymnosperm bears no flowers. One of the identifying characters of gymnosperm is they have no flowers at all, and here angiosperm they produces flowers. Flowers may be solitary, that means single flower on a stalk, or they may be inflorescent, that means group of flowers on a stalk. Now here you see seeds. Basically, seed that is produced in gymnosperm, they are produced in sporophylls but are naked. Naked means what? They are exposed. They are not covered with anything. And here, basically, the angiosperms, they are enclosed within the flower. That means the ovary encloses the seed until and unless it is matured and it is ready to release. Now, here you see the characters of gymnosperm are little less evolutionary evolved compared to the angiosperm, and you see the microsporophylls are present in a separate strobili. For example, you have a microsporophylls, that means produces a male counterpart in a separate strobili. What is strobili? They form the group of leaves, they form a cone. And here you see they are anthered. Basically, microsporophylls are present in the anther, so they are present within the anther lobes of the flower. Okay, now here megasporophylls. What is megasporophylls? Megasporophylls is the egg producing counterpart. The megasporophylls are present in the strobili, that is female strobili of the megaspore mother cell. So this is megaspore mother cell has to divide mitotically to produce the ova or the egg. Now here you see the megaspore mother cells, they produces the ovum or the egg cell, and that is present in the ovary of the flower. That means both the egg cell and the anther, they are all hidden within the flower. So flower forms the cover, and basically the definition of flower is a reproductive shoot is called a flower. Now here again the seed produced are naked and they are not enclosed, so the seed produces are enclosed within the ovary. Now morphologically, actually I had done it earlier, but still for your recap, see the morphologically the gymnosperm that I had already said, the cycas and the spinous, they are unbranched. That means they are not branched at all. But here the normal angiosperm, the normal flowering plant, what you see around you, is branched. Now the root has mycorrhiza. It is a connection between the lichen and the fungi, but there is no such thing. Some roots, basically the roots are a fibrous root and taproot system, but some roots have root nodules, for example the leguminous plant, but those are exceptional. Now another thing is the nodes and the internodes are absent. What is node? Node is the point where leaf arises, and the scar is also left behind. Okay, so but the nodes and the internodes are totally absent here, and here the prominent nodes and internodes are present. Now it is divided into two groups, the cycas group and the pinus group, and here it is divided into monocot and dicot. Okay, we'll come to the structures later on. And another is pollination. What is pollination? Transfer of pollen from the anther to the ovary is known as the pollination, but it happens through the wind. And here in what happens, there are three different agents, either it is air pollinated, water pollinated, or animal pollinated. Now if you see here, for example here, now here you can see here that unlike the bryophytes and the pteridophytes, the you see gymnosperms, the male and the female gametophytes, the roots have an independent free living existence, and the saprophytic, the pollen grain is released from the sporangium, and they are carried in air current. See, this point is important. They are carried in air current, and air current comes in contact with the opening of the ovule born in the megasporophylls. So you have two type of sporophylls: megasporophylls bearing the anther, microsporophylls bearing the archegonia or the ovary. Now the pollen tube carrying the male gametes grow towards the archegonia in the ovule and discharge their content near the mouth of the archegonia. So thus fertilization and zygote develop into an ovary, ovule and seeds. So seeds are not covered. Clear? Now here you see angiosperm. I said that they are, sorry. Now angiosperm, basically if you see, they are dicotyledons and monocotyledonous plants are there. The dicotyledons are characterized by seed having two cotyledon reticulate venation in leaves and see tetramerous to pentamerous. These are types of venations. Now 4 number floral whorls, calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, that is there. Now you see another thing is 3 of them. See, generally each ovule, see the ovules are produced, that structure you have already done earlier, isn't it? So the egg is produced, see, you remember egg apparatus, that is 1 egg cells and 2 synergid and 3 antipodal are present and 2 polar nucleus. The polar nucleus eventually fuse with the diploid secondary nucleus and pollen grain are dispersed. So that means you have a double fertilization. If you can focus on the figure here, see, this is the saprophytic generation. What is saprophytic generation? The 2N, the diploid one. Here the plant grows. Here you see the stigma and the ovary is there. So ultimate stigma, style and ovary. Here the anther pollen grains comes. This is the ovary. Then they fuse. The megasporangium is here. The ovule. Ovule produces the egg cell. They fuse the zygote and again embryo and new plant. And here you see anther and filament. This is known as the gametophytic phase, the gamete producing microsporangium, microspore mother cells. From there the microspore is formed by the reductional division or meiosis. Then microspores are present. Then you form the male gametophyte, and this is how the life cycle completes. Okay, now here, this is a very important point. You see, if you find the plants, either they are haploid or some of them are diploid. Okay, so they can be divided by mitosis, right? You see, they can be divided by mitosis, and the plant zygote are divided by mitosis to produce a diploid saprophytic generation. That means saprophytic generation, basically that is the photosynthetic phase, that is known as diploid, and haploid spores are when the plant produced by meiosis, this divided into mitosis to produce a haploid body. So thus during the life cycle of any sexually reproduction plant, there is an alternate generation between the gamete producing, see, focus on this slide, between the gamete producing haploid gametophyte and spore producing diploid sporophyte. So on this basis, few as an individual represent them differ in the following pattern. Now here you see in the first diagram, you see here the haplontic generation is a bigger one, and here it is a small this. So this small is known as the sporophytic generation, is very small. They represent see, they represent the one cell zygotic cell. There is no free living saprophytic. Meiosis in the zygote results in the formation of haploid spores. So that is why the photosynthetic phase in such free living gametophytes. So this kind of life cycle is the haplotic. That means very small sporophytic generation or diploid that is found in, basically that is found in Chlamydomonas. Okay, Chlamydomonas and Pyrogyra. Okay. Now here Next you find that is the diplotic. You find here, see, this diplotic generation is very big, and here the saprophytic is small. Now here, see, diplotic you find it in ascus, in some fucus and algae. The diplotic sporophytic is dominant, and the photosynthetic independent phase of a single free living. See, gametophyte represent this. The gymnosperm, angiosperm follow this pattern, and ultimately there is a haplodiplotic individual that happens in lower one. Now they show alternation of generation, one alternation sometime in some generation. See, haploid gametophyte predominates, and sometimes the diploid sporophyte predominates. So you find in Polysiphonia and kelp, these are the